Inner City Birmingham is all that I know.
Literally every day is very different. So the fight to establish stability is exciting.
Well, I grew up in Birmingham. I know this city. I'm very proud to call myself a Brummie.
Absolutely love it here. The churches are particularly energetic and really have a heart for the community that we're in.
For me, Inner City Birmingham is not just an isolated culture in a particular area. It's about diversity. There's always a change happening.
There's a rawness and an intensity in the inner cities which I've not experienced in other parishes I've worked in.
To think about the life of the Spirit and to simply talk about that with people who are adherents to another faith is very, very challenging. I grew up in South Lincolnshire, which is possibly the most undiverse part of the whole country, and I went and served as a curate in Hull, which is even less diverse than Lincolnshire. I was asked to come and look at this by a bishop I worked for up in Yorkshire, and I was quite keen on the idea of moving somewhere southwards anyway. And like my general journey to ministry, I kind of ran out of reasons to say no after asking lots and lots of questions.
Years back, I was involved in camps for young people who faced disadvantage, who probably wouldn't get a holiday. And somewhere in that, God sowed in me a real heart for working with people who face the issues of poverty in their lives.
For people who don't know this area, they often talk about it as crime-ridden, gangs and guns, and a place of deprivation. But for those of us who live here, it's a place which is vibrant, multicultural, multi-faith, and has a dynamism of its own.
The diocese has put a challenge out to the communities to say, well, actually, it's not okay to sit on the side. It's not okay not to go out into the communities and wait for them to come to you. The challenge is for churches, inner city churches, is to go out into the community, to make a difference, to impact on the lives of these people that are there who are longing for someone to come out to see them.
Today we've been doing a clear up event, which has been a community litter pick and then barbecue. I think for the litter pick, we have a real heart that God loves the area that we live in. It's been really good to see local residents coming out and saying that this is what they want Neutrals to be about community working together. The church is like the heart of the community, I think, and what's exciting as well is enabling people from their own area to put something back into their own community. You know, we're working alongside people. We're not doing stuff just to people or for people. We're providing an opportunity for local people to get stuck in themselves, and we do see them doing that, and that changes lives in a way that just doing it for them perhaps wouldn't as much in the same way.
So many people who live here, whether they've lived here for one generation or whether they've been here for 40, 50, 60 years, will have different perceptions about what a church is for and equally what this church is for. I think in the last 20 years or so we've tried to secure our reputation as a place of welcome to people whoever they are, to try and demonstrate that our doors are open to a variety of needs and none, and to try to give specific support, especially through our links with our Muslim brothers and sisters over the road in the Husseiniya Mosque, who developed a warm relationship at their very beginning here. It's an odd sense of looking around you and realising that the Christian church has been here longer than anyone else. That gives us that real responsibility to be the initiator of hospitality.
I think we have to face the challenges of the changing demographics of our inner city area. They're increasingly multicultural, multiracial. Particularly in the austerity period we're in now, there are also places where poverty is intensified. That means lack of opportunity, that means lack of educational opportunities, and so we have to face those challenges as part of the whole community's well-being.
I think you have to be people orientated to enjoy this place, and the church is a bit disconnected from our people, so we're on new grounds, we're travelling new grounds and finding new ways on how we can be part of the community. That's a challenge.
Well, I would really hope that the Church of England continues to be really courageous about putting people in the poorer areas in our cities, because we need people to be passionate about these sorts of areas and willing to commit their lives to it and willing to give a great deal of time to it. You need to be grateful for the small wins, I think, in an area like this, and also recognise what God's doing.
People don't get why the Church of England keeps the church open in an area where 95% of people are most likely to go to a mosque. For so many people who live in Small Heath who are followers of Islam, this is a real opportunity for them to get to know people who come from a Christian perspective. And so you have that opportunity to show people Christianity, show them a real living place of worship, to talk to them about what Christians believe, and so you have the opportunity to actually have quite a lot of integrity about what you do. So in a funny sort of way, it's not a challenge, it's a massive opportunity.
It's been interesting to hear people talk about what they've noticed about the churches being united with each other, because they say that they see that in a way they don't see that elsewhere. So, and that gives them confidence to want us involved in the work that they're doing.
Well, I think it's just awesome, because this is, I think, what Jesus did. Jesus went out into the community. So we don't believe in being an isolated church. We believe in going out and spreading the word and just loving everyone around us. We strongly believe in this simplicity of loving one another.
I'd point to our young people, their confidence, their conviction as Christians, their aspirations. They are not going to be pulled down by the stigma that may be attached for some people to growing up in a place like Newtown. They have vision and they have ambition, and the church has played a role in helping their self-confidence and that they can move forward into jobs and into further education.
And it's very strange to talk about a young church or a young people in the middle of a building that's 125 years old. But that's a wonderful, wonderful paradox, because the church lives, and the challenge to renew it and to keep it looking lived in and not just like some artifact which will eventually become a museum once we've stopped doing quaint stuff in it is fantastic. And the people who have stood here before and the people who stand here now have given such faith to this place that it feels like the rocks and the stones that make up the building echo their praises and echo their faith, all 125 years of it, into something that is much louder than anything we could produce now.